Damage control, folks, damage control. It looks like some of these doctors and therapists in Hollywood are already starting to step out because they need to conduct a little bit of damage control, behind Matthew Perry's death. Because as I reported to you all before, Matthew Perry's cause of death was the acute effects of ketamine. Now everyone's looking at it like Matthew Perry, he's a junkie. Of course he died with this stuff in his system. But no one's talking about the fact that his doctors literally had him on a ketamine infusion treatment. Now, his ex-girlfriend already spoke out, and she's calling for an investigation into his doctors. Because when Matthew Perry was found dead, he had enough ketamine in his system to be as if like he was under anesthesia. Enough to knock him out, like for surgery. And ketamine, it's not the easiest thing to get on the streets. And from what people close to Matthew Perry say, he's not the type of dude to go out there on the streets and get his own stuff. Usually he goes through his assistants and people that he knows. No one's stepping up to say that they helped him get this stuff, but everyone's kind of got their eyes on the doctor because that's who was giving him these ketamine treatments. Now, his ex-girlfriend thinks that Matthew Perry may have an in with his doctor, that he may have a connection, that he can get stuff off the record. Now, I told you all, the day that they announced his cause of death, even when they found him dead, that I thought things were a little bit iffy. But I want people to understand, I'm not here saying that there's this deep, dark conspiracy to knock Matthew Perry off. I'm not saying that the Hollywood cabal is like, plotting behind the scenes to assassinate Matthew Perry. I just think that, because he died from ketamine, that maybe his doctors are the ones that gave it to him. That's all that I think. And I think that those are questions that need to be answered. I really do think that, because I think it's time to stop allowing doctors to dish out all of this stuff all willy-nilly because they're creating new addicts. People are dying every day from stuff that they're getting from their doctors. And that's a conversation that people don't really want to have. But it's a conversation that needs to be had. And when it comes to a celebrity like Matthew Perry, it allows us to have a conversation on a more national level where all eyes are on the situation. You know what I mean? If you will, it kind of brings attention to a problem that's affecting everyday Americans, even if you don't think of someone like Matthew Perry as an everyday American because he's a celebrity. People are dying, following up with their doctors all of the time. So I do think it's weird that his death was because of ketamine and he's getting ketamine treatments. But anyways, there are doctors in Hollywood speaking out now saying that they're angry that ketamine was listed as his cause of death because it goes against their beliefs because they're giving their patients ketamine on a daily basis. Let's go ahead and dive right into this article. A ketamine MD says, don't blame the ketamine. It's still an effective treatment. Matthew Perry's death being pinned on ketamine by the coroner is misleading and puts the drug in a bad light, says an MD who's prescribed it to his own patients. Oh, of course. Dr. Zad Fadal, the medical director at Better You and an expert in addiction medicine, says the LA County Coroner Office's finding last week that Perry died from the acute effects of ketamine doesn't really explain how he died, at least in his professional opinion. Yes, ketamine happened to be in Matt's system at the time of his death and might have been the reason he dozed off in his hot tub, but obviously the Friends actor drowned. Dr. Fadal's point here is any kind of drug that spurs sedation would have likely had the same effect, and he feels like blaming Matthew Perry's tragic passing on ketamine alone without this context isn't fair, and that might deter people from seeking it out as a viable option. So hold on. He's saying, oh, you can't blame the ketamine because Matthew Perry drowned. I don't think Matthew Perry just drowned in his hot tub. He drowned because of the ketamine. But he doesn't want it blamed on the ketamine. He wants it blamed on the hot tub. And he doesn't want people getting scared about undergoing these treatments because it will hurt his pockets. So now he's got to step out with a warning. Please don't blame the ketamine treatments. No. How about we do blame that? And how about maybe your customers, I'll call them that. I don't want to call them patients, your customers. Maybe they should rethink undergoing these treatments. Because if it can happen to Matthew Perry, it can happen to them. But let's go forward. Now, on the issue of whether Perry had used ketamine the day he died or not, Dr. Fadal has a theory on that as well. According to him, Matt was likely experienced with ketamine and was taking ever-increasing doses, which might have left some residual. He adds that residual amount could have been super high. If Matt had a high tolerance to the drug and was taking high doses, he also believes Perry wasn't only taking ketamine through an IV. Remember, the coroner's report on Perry's cause of death noted he'd been involved in ketamine infusion therapy in the months leading up to this, but pointed out he'd been weaning off of it thanks to a new doctor who found he didn't need it as much these days. Ketamine is often used as a treatment for depression and anxiety, which is why Matt had been taking it. But because his ketamine levels were so elevated when he died, it's unclear if Matt was taking it therapeutically or recreationally. So, I mean, with the amount of the stuff in his system, I mean, I don't know if it's if this was something that he intended to do. Did he intend to do this much? Did his doctor prescribe this much? Was this something that he was getting, off the record from his doctor? This professional says it may be the residuals from his treatments that was just carrying over. 2 weeks later, the residuals just carry over and the effects hit you and you drown in your hot tub. I don't know. But all I'm going to say is, like I've said before, if you're investigating this situation and you're trying to connect the dots, you don't need a big pin board. You don't need a big chalkboard. You don't need sticky notes here and sticky notes there. You could literally connect the dot right across the line. Died from ketamine, getting ketamine infusion treatments from his doctor. I wonder where Matthew Perry got the ketamine. Oh, we know he was getting ketamine from his doctor. I don't know. Just connect the dots. It's a straight line. If you're really looking for the dealer, if you're looking where Matthew Perry got the ketamine from, all I'm saying, the first stop has to be the doctor. It has to be the doctor. But it's funny, seeing doctors in Hollywood who have nothing to do with this at all, they're stepping up, trying to play damage control because they're worried about the word getting out there about how dangerous these treatments may be. And they're worried that people are going to start connecting the dots behind other deaths probably. Hey, I wonder why that guy drowned last week. I wonder why that guy was found in his bathtub a couple of months ago. I wonder why this person fell asleep behind the wheel. Maybe it's because everyone in Hollywood's on freaking ketamine infusion therapy. You know what I mean? So they're out here trying to play damage control. And if you ask me, like I said before, I'm not here to say that there's some deep, dark, reasoning behind this. I just feel like it's probably very, very likely, that Matthew Perry would still be here if he wasn't connected to this doctor that was dishing this stuff out. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Let me know what you think you know down in the comments below. If you're feeling generous this holiday season, if you want to send me a Christmas gift, you can donate to the channel via Cash App directly. No one takes a cut. It comes straight to me. I will have the Cash App in my pinned comment, or you can donate via Super Thanks, or for free. You can help the channel in many ways by sharing the video, liking the video, subscribing, all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next video.